It's the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Ariaga.
And today we're talking about the Raw anniversary show with a Netflix anniversary show from Brooklyn. This is a huge show. And I guess we'll talk about, we'll give our general thoughts and we'll talk about Maxxine Dupri, Becky Lynch in our new segment that we debuted at the end of 2025, Hurt or Helped. And then we'll close things out. We're talking about Punk, Bron Breakker, world title. So Smiley, let me know general thoughts on this show.
Walking into this, right? It was on the end of it was on the end of the Stranger Things finale just came out. And I said to myself, well, good. It's over. I don't have to hear about this anymore, right? At least for another couple months. The last thing I was thinking about walking into a wrestling show on Monday was Stranger Things. I wanted to see wrestling. I wanted to see CM Punk and Bron Breakker. What was the first thing we saw when we walked into that arena? Stranger Things, the van, all these like scenery, and we were both like, "Oh, come on!" like, I, I, I don't know. Did you like them playing the Stranger Things theme in between every match and segment?
No, no,
God,
no. It was, look, it was a little much. It was a little distracting. Didn't make me more interested in Stranger Things. But the people in the crowd in New York didn't really care much. But again, Raw is on Netflix, and Netflix is a global stage, so I'm sure people at home, some people ate this up. But for me, as a viewing experience, wasn't the greatest. I thought there's better ways to integrate Stranger Things, you know, into, you know, the whole experience. There's so many other things you could have done. You could have decorated the ring a certain way. Do something that shows that, like, yep, you know, we're being a good partner, but at the same time, it's not too distracting for the people at home. But then again, that's just my opinion. Other people may, Stranger Things fans who are WWE fans probably loved it, or some of them probably hated it. I don't know, but just as a non-Stranger Things fan, I didn't care much for it. I didn't care. No one really cared there either. So, but anyway, this show it was a great show. Um, I do think the one thing WWE has problems with um is what happens between matches. They can't just go to match to match to match and keep the show flowing. There's got to be this long drawn out pause, right? Not just in between commercial breaks, but they're doing things that other sports do between, in baseball, between innings, they got the fan cams and all that stuff. And honestly, it's too much. An hour and a half in, I'm exhausted. And again, also the Stranger Things was a little distracting too. So an hour in, I was so tired. I'm like, there was so much crap that happened between one match. I'm like, how many matches went by? The one thing I would say they could take from AEW is on AEW's big shows or big pay-per-views, it's one match is over, next match. There may be a quick backstage segment between something that's related to the rest of the show. Boom, and we're off to the races. I don't feel exhausted 1 hour in. Like I feel like this show was like 2 hours and change, and it was a nice tight show, but I felt exhausted towards the end. And if you I don't know how this came across on TV, but live, there was a lot of moments where the crowd was very quiet. I feel like they were exhausted, and there were certain parts where they brought the whoever was wrestling brought the crowd back, but there's just too much lag in between matches, way too much.
you see, here's the thing. Like you said, they were alive during the wrestling parts because they came there to see a wrestling show. Not have like we talked about this with pay-per-views, how like their ad packages are so long and like just draining. Like you know what I mean? It's just like omnipresent. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just we want to see wrestling. Like have a promo packet, have a promo, have someone cut a promo in between matches. Have like an actual backstage segment. Have actual backstage interviews. Like just keep it going. Like you know what I'm saying? Like dude, like Yeah, I mean, like some AEW pay-per-view specifically, the pay-per-view specifically are pretty good with pacing when they're not 4 hours long. And I always go back to this John Cena's last match, the Saturday Night's main event. The pacing of that show was, I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. It was just
100%.
match, promo, some ads, match. It like, but it was the main focus was the matches and the psychology and the stories of the matches.
Yeah,
Like,
but largely it was a thumbs up show. I really enjoyed
yeah,
it. Yeah,
when the wrestling was going on, it was excellent.
yeah.
Lots of good matches here.
So let's move on to Javon Evans. They finally called him up from NXT, which is I thought was very interesting because they usually do this kind of thing right after WrestleMania, but I guess they feel like the Netflix the January show is, I guess, important. So they thought, let's do something big here. It's a big night, a lot of eyeballs on the show. Let's bring up a new, talent. With Gunther choking out John Cena, they're really caring about the future, and I love that. That's my thing. That's one of my favorite things about wrestling right now is the focus on the now and the future. So with that's being said, Javon Evans signing to Raw, what do you think? Or the first couple of things that WWE should do with him right out of the gate?
Not well. I mean, I was gonna say like not putting him on like main event. Like I like when dark matches are presented. Like you still see the Raw logo, so it still feels like you're watching like a Raw match, but just that's not televised. I personally don't like the aesthetic of main event. It just feels like it screams not as important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like put him in put him in like tournaments, put him in like just don't make him look silly. I guess a long story short.
Yeah, but what do you think they should do? Like, what are some concrete things that you think should be done right out of the gate to
Have
keep his
him
momentum going?
have him chase for a spot to be in the Royal Rumble. Make it like a goal for him to like win a title or yeah, like win a championship. Or like like try to fight to get into the Royal Rumble. He could be a really good underdog in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, yeah, I think they definitely should. He should be in the Rumble at least like entrant number like 15 or 20 or something like that. Um, maybe he can be it. Maybe like entrant number 2, 3, 4, or 5. He'll last a little while. At least 30, 40 minutes in there. Get tossed out by a big star or another NXT upstart, and you start a feud there. You could do that. Um, he should be in the chamber. Whatever
Yeah.
chamber, he should be in there. He should definitely be in there. He shouldn't win. I don't think he should win, but he should be in that mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like I think one of the things I love about Javon Evans is that like when he doesn't fly all the time, but when he does it, he doesn't waste it. And it stands out and it looks spectacular.
Yeah, his flying cutter looks amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's like it reminds me of like the first time I saw Kyrie Sane's elbow drop. Like, wow, no one does it like that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, in the arena last night at Barclays Center, there was a lot of Y2J chants,
Oh boy.
especially in some of the lull moments of some of the matches. There was a lot of Y2J chants. Um, so that being said, Chris Jericho, his name is kind of, you know, becoming more present within the WWE audience. So, do you think he'll be in the Rumble? And if he's in the Rumble, what do you think is going to happen there?
He should not win the Royal Rumble. He should
No,
not
absolutely
win.
not.
No,
No,
no, no.
no.
He can be in the Royal Rumble. He can screw somebody and he can be in a program with some, maybe a program with AJ,
Yeah,
like
I'd say
something
Gunther
like
throws him
that.
out.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
nice. That would be pretty great. Uh, like, yeah, like, but don't have him win the Royal Rumble. No, we
No,
were talking about putting over young stars. I think, but no, with Jericho, I mean, I don't know. Like, I kind of hate in hindsight, I kind of hate the idea. I kind of didn't like the idea of like the rumor of him coming back. It would have been cool if it was like a genuine surprise if we weren't like waiting for it because I felt like there are a lot. I don't know how you felt, but like there were a lot of moments where because of that rumor that we heard, people were just waiting for it and it didn't happen and it kind of sucked the air out of the room. Did you feel that way?
no. Um, because a Punk's AEW return was rumor.
Mm.
Total rumor. They didn't do a whole press conference saying we signed CM Punk. They threw in a little bit, little teases here and there to make you think that he was going to be there, but you didn't know. See, that's the thing about wrestling today, right? So things may get leaked on the internet or whatever. There may be a lot of rumors and speculation, right? So now both companies, they kind of use that to their advantage. If you use it in the right way, you kind of play off that. You don't actually tell people what's happening, but you give them hints that maybe something might happen. Um, that could lead to a lot of intrigue, right? So knowing Jericho, um, he's never ever gonna say, "Hey guys, here's what I'm doing."
No, he
It's
shouldn't.
no,
He
yeah,
shouldn't.
right. He likes the anticipation. He wants to see, if his name is being talked about within the wrestling sphere, which I think is great. And it'll make his return, if he does return to AEW, he could be on Dynamite Wednesday for all we know. But if he does return to if he returns to WWE, one, I'm gonna see how he's gonna represent himself because we all know Jericho likes to reinvent himself. So him being in the Rumble, and just like Javon Evans, I think Jericho should be in the Rumble and he should be there for a while. Shouldn't win the thing, but he should be there for a while. And whoever eliminates him should be the person that Jericho starts a program with. He should definitely be in the chamber. Does not need to win it, but he should be in there. And I think, honestly, WrestleMania, for me, him and AJ again.
That'd be great. Him and
That's all
AJ
I
would
asked
be
for.
that would be awesome. I now that you said if he appeared on AEW, could you imagine if he appeared on AEW on Wednesday and he's like, "You all bought it. Even my immediate family
Yeah,
bought it."
that'd be great. That'll be
That would be
great.
great. That would make me love him again. Like
Yeah.
what? No, honestly, like I was thinking like after that great main event with Punk and Braun, could you imagine if Jericho had come out like because we were talking, I kept complaining about some people's theme music. I'm like, it would be nice to hear good theme music, like more than three people having a good theme song. It would be nice, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But it
But
would
you
have
know
been
what? We'll talk about the Punk and Braun main event later, but the idea of Jericho might be in there didn't really affect the Punk and Braun match at all.
no, no, not at
Yeah.
all. I forgot about the Stranger Things stuff. I forgot about the rumor when I was watching that match. Like,
Yeah.
I hope Braun's head is okay because I did like the setup of him failing to do the the Frankensteiner. People thought that was a botch, but I think they planned for him to miss the Frankensteiner at first and then get it the second time.
Yep.
But what they didn't plan out was him landing on his head. I don't think that. Yeah, yeah. I was worried about him, but yeah, I rewatched that from a different angle, and he landed on his head first time he.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I hope he's okay. But my goodness, that match was awesome.
But with Jericho, closing the loop on that, Jericho's in like the best shape of his life, right? He's still super over with wrestling fans on both major promotions. Um, and some of his best opponents over the years within WWE are still in amazing shape. AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, just as an example. So there's a whole lot you can do with Chris Jericho in WWE in 2026. So it makes all the sense in the world for him to come back. But if he does show up on Dynamite, there's still a million things you could do with him there as well. Um, Especially, with MJF being as hot as he is, with Hangman, with Swerve, even Joe, Will Hobbs, name somebody.
I
There's so
mean,
much you can do with Jericho in 2026 throughout Takeshita. And name somebody.
I
Um,
definitely see him going probably more to WWE and AEW because, well, as we saw
yeah,
the last
yeah.
couple of times he was in AEW, he was not getting a lot of love for a lot of reasons, a lot of different reasons. And you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I think he was just at the point he was a little overexposed. Um, so and he went away for a while, which helps everyone. But I think now, yeah, because knowing Jericho again, I think he wants that last huge WrestleMania match, and WWE is hot as it's ever been now. So now's the time more than ever for Jericho specifically to go back to WWE. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
yeah, like do some good stuff so that we remember him fondly if he does decide to retire because a lot of people have been retiring lately.
Yeah, yeah, right. Okay, so second edition of our new segment, Hurt or Helped,
Uh,
right? Where we discuss if a certain match, segment, finish, storyline, whatever it may be, hurt or helped specifically the young star in the match, right? So I'm going to use this segment to discuss Becky Lynch and Maxxine Dupri for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now, did you think how this match played out, with Maxine losing her Intercontinental Championship the way she did this hurt or help her?
hurt. Hurt. It hurt her. It hurt her. Like, we're just gonna spin the wheel. That shouldn't do. This is the kind of thing we had to spin the wheel for. Like it's
Yeah.
yo, this sucked the air out of the room.
Oh
Because
yeah.
we were all talking about in our section, we were all talking about, oh, Maxine Dupri, man, she's improved so much. Like she wasn't even that bad. They actually just gave her a chance. She turned out to be awesome. She learned a lot. Like it actually makes me miss if Chad Gable came back, you could have him and Maxine Dupri, and you can make the Alpha Academy look serious because uh, she's good and Gable is phenomenal. So like with imagine those two like the like a serious Alpha Academy because to me they're still jokes. They still have that jokey ass theme. You know what I'm saying? And like, but she was getting somewhere. Like we were saying, I was saying how like people like Maxine Dupri so much they can forgive her corny theme song because she's really fun to watch. Like she cares and like she's like serious. And right when we were talking about that, they like I don't say every loss is a burial, but this seemed like someone was mad at her back there. Like this is her second or third defense, and she got like just pinned on a Raw by Becky Lynch.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree in the sense that, yeah, losing is not the end of the world, but how you lose matters, right? So Becky Lynch, there's many ways for Becky Lynch to get heat or maintain the heat, her heat against Maxine, but just rolling her up and grabbing the rope and the referee and they ran a replay. This was the big mistake. They ran the replay. The referee has a clear line of sight to see Becky Lynch holding onto the ropes. Yeah, you're right. The air was sucked out of the room. It was horrible. There were so many ways you could do. Ivy now could have interfered and hit her with the belt or something to cost her the match, and you set up Ivy and Maxine, and she can chase Becky again. Simple. That wouldn't have hurt her at all. That would have been fine. But the way they did this, they made her look stupid. It was so corny. It was so anticlimactic. It definitely poured the water on her. That's not
Like
good.
if CM Punk had lost the title to Braun on Monday, that would not have hurt Punk. Maxine, this is like her third defense. Her losing the title on like I think her like not even her fifth defense. I don't think so. Like I feel like she just got this thing and she's just starting to get momentum. And I joked. I was saying like, is Vince booking again? It seems like something Vince would do. Like it's just like it seems like personal. Like what did she do? Like I was like, did she do something?
Yeah.
Like
This is floating in. This is, I'm waiting to see how this plays out, but this is kind of smelling like 50-50 booking over here. Maxine's going to get her win back. Again, she could have, look, if she lost the belt in quick fashion and she chases, which they don't really do the chases anymore, which, whatever, but I'm not losing sleep over it. But I think this would have been a better instance to do something like that, or at least this, honestly, I would have welcomed interference here. Something,
or a
right?
DQ finish. So like, she doesn't lose the title.
Yeah, yeah.
She can't afford to lose a title like this. Not like
She
this on
shouldn't
a
have
pay
lost
per
it like
view.
this. Yeah.
On a pay per view, or like in a chamber where like, or like in a multi person match where she's not pinned because she's just getting momentum. Like I don't know. It's just
Yeah, her star is rising, and they shouldn't have done it like this. Yeah, I was not happy with this. I think this hurt her.
they
But
took the
yeah,
bread out of the oven and threw it in the trash, and it wasn't even done yet. It didn't even rise.
yeah. Again, it's not the end of the world for her, but I don't know. This definitely cooled her off a little bit to me, in my opinion. Let's move on to the main event, which was outstanding. CM Punk Braun Breaker. Now, CM Punk won clean. And there was interference, to stop Punk from winning. And it had a great false finish in that regard. And I think the story of the match was Punk trying to avoid the spear. And I thought they did a great job telling that story. It was phenomenal. It was very hard hitting. It was exactly what it should have been. But, honestly, do you think, it would have been the worst thing in the world for Braun to win this?
No, Braun is the kind of guy he could beat Punk clean. He and would have been like, but it would have had to been like devastating, like killed him, like spear him at least once, but just once. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he does that insane spear, like he runs around the ring and does that insane spear like on the outside. Punk could have been selling his like ribs, and then like he spears him one more time and kills him. Like if you did something like that, like have him win in dominant fashion, no interference, because Braun doesn't need it. He doesn't need interference. That's the only thing. It's like you knew interference was gonna come because that's just what happens in stables with a lot of lackeys. Like they eventually run in, but like I don't know. Braun and Paul Heyman should be by themselves, to me at least, because like he has everything, and Paul's the voice. You just need those two.
Yeah, this is the match that I would have been okay with Braun winning because if the idea is to have CM Punk wrestle Roman Reigns, that match doesn't need the title at all. Um, but Punk winning is fine. I just think that whatever's next for Punk better be huge, or they do a rematch, or Braun wins the Chamber and he faces Punk at WrestleMania, and Braun wins at WrestleMania.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And then the Vision you know, kicks him out, or he gets kicked out of the Vision before then. I don't know. Maybe that's too soon, but
Or maybe they wrestle at Royal Rumble.
sure.
If
Yeah.
Braun is not in the Rumble, they can wrestle again at Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
But
could be a possibility.
I thought this is like CM Punk winning here didn't hurt Braun
No,
at
not at all.
all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, this is awesome. This is Braun.
It was a
But
star-making performance for him. I
yeah,
think. Yeah.
and it's not even the first one. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like this guy has like been always been impressive. Even like yeah, like everyone messes up now and then, but like he's young. But like this guy is freakish.
Yeah.
He's
And wrestling a
freakish.
guy like CM Punk in the main event for a title, that's huge. And he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was very cool. I hope going forward, I wish they find some way to trim the extra fat off of this chicken. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Yeah.
I would like just Braun and Paul, just those two.
Yeah. Um yeah, I thought the show was excellent. It felt like a big show, felt like a pay-per-view. It was like 2 hours and change, but I was exhausted because again, all of the intermatch stuff that they like to do with the video packages and the fan cams and the sign cams, whatever you want to call it. But overall, great show. Not too much to complain about. Yeah, that's it. Anything else to add before we wrap
Oh,
up?
I loved our section. You remember that funny fan? It's really, really nice guy and his friends.
Yeah,
You kept hearing that guy. He's like, ah, freaking Paul Heyman. Hated that guy. Hated him then, hated him now. He just kept saying funny things all night.
legend,
And he was so happy
legend.
to see CM Punk. Like all of his friends
Yeah,
were like wearing like CM Punk merch. It was really cool. It was a great night.
it was a really good night. It was a really good night. All right, that's the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Ariaga.
And you can follow us on the socials and listen to the Wrestling Caucus wherever you get your podcasts. Later days.